Hello children, welcome to another session of EVS class of grade 4. So this class you are going to learn about block 8 science roots in plants. So the aim of this class is to identify the functions of the root, the differences between taproot and fibrous root, and explain the role of roots that grow above the ground. The keywords you are going to learn are roots, nutrients, taproot, and fibrous root. Here you can see a picture of a plant, right? It is having leaves, stem, and what about this part? What is the name of this part? It's the root. What is its color? Yeah, it is having brown color, and we can see some small hairs around it, and it is growing deep into the ground. So today we are going to learn about what are the main functions of the roots. So what is the main function of the roots? Yes, roots will absorb water and nutrients from the soil and transport to the plants. That is the main function of roots. And how do these roots play an important role in preventing soil erosion? Yes, the roots of the plants go deep into the soil and bind the soil particles. So this prevents the soil from being washed away by wind or water. So we understood what is the function of the roots and how it is helping in preventing the soil erosion. Now coming to the classification of roots. We can classify roots into two types. They are taproot and fibrous root. So here you can see the picture of a plant that is having taproot, and here another plant that is having fibrous root. So what is the difference between taproot and fibrous root? Yes, by observing this picture you can see that the one root that is having a main root around which smaller roots branches out. This is called taproot. So when you are looking this picture, you can see one big main root and some smaller roots. So that is the peculiarity of this taproot. Another root that does not have the main root and all the roots branch out from the bottom of the stem. This type of root is called fibrous root. So by observing this figure, you can see there is no big main root, but all the roots are branching out from the bottom of the stem. So this is called fibrous root. So a tap root that has one main strong root that is called the main or primary root, and it has smaller roots that branch out from the sides of the main root. They are called secondary roots. Trees like the apple and beetroot, they all having a trap root system. And the fibrous root, they are having roots coming out together in a cluster from just below the stem. So the maize and the wheat plants have fibrous roots. Now, see, what is the advantages of plants that is having a taproot? Yes, So this taproot that will grow deep into the soil, and it can get water and the other minerals from the deeper layers of the soil. That is the advantage of plants that are having taproot system. Now, have you ever seen a banyan tree? What different parts does a banyan tree have? Yes, so the banyan tree, it is having a trunk, leaves, branches, and thin, long vertical structures that are hanging down, right? So here I already shown the picture of a banyan tree, right? So here you can see thin, long vertical structures that are hanging down, and this is the picture of a maize plant. So there are some peculiarities with these plants, right? Yeah, that we are going to see now. So by looking this picture, where are these roots of these plants? How do you think that they are helpful? In banyan tree, you can see that pillar-like roots. How does it helping you? Yes, we'll see. So in sugarcane and maize plant, the roots that is growing from the lower part of the stem into the ground. So here you can see this is a picture of maize plant. Here the roots are growing from the lower part of the stem to the ground, and the roots are visible. Yes. So they are helpful because they support this plant. So these roots are supporting this plant to stand. So they can be called as supporting roots. Plants that are huge or have weak stems, they need more support. So banyan tree, that is a huge plant, so it need more support. So in such plants, some roots grow from the stem or branches downwards into the soil. So this provides extra support to the plant and prevents it from falling or breaking. So let me ask you another question. Will a sugarcane plant survive if its root do not support it? Yeah. So without the support of the plant will either not grow or the stem will break and may not survive. So sugarcane plant definitely require the support of roots to stand. So without the support, the plant will either not grow or the stem will break and may not survive. Now coming to this last part, you all seen a carrot, right? So which part of the plant is the carrot? What do you think? Can we eat a carrot? Yes. So the carrot, that is the root of the plant. We can eat carrots. So it's a food for us. So we can learn about some roots that store food and they are food for us also. So we can see that. So here there is one question. Which part of the plant is the radish, beetroot and sweet potato? Why are they thick? Yes, they are the roots of the plant. Similarly like carrot. And they are thick because they store the food. That is a peculiarity. So these plants, it will store the food in its root. So that is why they are thick. And the plants like radish, carrot, and sweet potato, they store the excess food in their roots. So these roots are thicker than the normal roots as they store food in them. So they are called storage roots. And this storage food can be used later by the plants to survive. So that is the requirement. So what will happen if these plants do not store food? Yes, of course, if it's not storing the food, these plants might get weak or even die, as they will not have enough food to survive. That's going to happen. So I hope you understood what are the different classification of roots and the plants that are storing the food in the roots and the main functions of the roots, right? So I will come with another video in my next class. Thank you.